Let me tell you about a gospel tract. You say, Brother Micah, why do you take the time, broadcast after broadcast, week after week, month after month? Why do you take the time to tell us about gospel tracts? Well, because I believe in them. Because not too long ago, I got to sit down with a man who told me the story of how he came to know the Lord. A man out of Indiana some years ago. He said that a friend of his, a co-worker, would leave gospel tracts around their workplace. And he said it was almost like an Easter egg hunt. He was not a saved man. He was not really that interested in the things of Christ, but he liked to read the different gospel tracts. And he said the majority of the gospel tracts that this co-worker friend left had been written by Paul Levine and were from the ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. We love to hear that. Now, keep in mind, this was back in the 1970s. And he said I would kind of go around the workplace. Sometimes they were in the bathroom. Sometimes they were in the break room. All over our workspace, he would leave these gospel tracts. And I didn't let on, he said, too much that I'd like to read them, but I would pick them up, I'd read them, and I'd put them back where they were. And one day, this went on for some weeks and some months, if I'm not mistaken. One day, he picked up one of those gospel tracts. The front cover looked like something he might want to read there. He picked it up. He read that gospel tract, and he was gloriously saved. He accepted the message. Finally, after reading so many of them, he accepted the free gift of salvation, and he was on his way to heaven. But what next? Well, he took that gospel tract with him. He didn't just put it back where it was, and he, as the instructions said, signed the back of that gospel tract and put his address there, and he mailed it in to Bible Tracts Incorporated. Our founder realized all the way back in the 70s, Paul Levine still had 25 years of ministry or thereabouts when this gospel tract came in, and Paul Levine sent him back a letter saying, you should go to this church right near you. He looked around and found a good church, or maybe even Paul Levine knew from memory what church would be good in that area. And for the last 40 years, that man and his wife have been attending that good Bible-believing church, have been involved in raising their children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, have been great Christian folks, all because someone left a gospel tract, or should I say tracts. Sometimes it takes repetition. Sometimes it needs to be said or needs to be shown again and again and again. And so in answer to your question as to why do we keep talking about gospel tracts, well, it's kind of difficult with a name like Bible Tract Echoes. It's in the name. But in all sincerity, I believe in gospel tracts, and I hope you do as well. I have one in my hand right now. I have a gospel tract I'm holding right now called Will You Live Forever? Now, if we go to the Bible for an answer to that question, we will realize quickly that the answer is unequivocally, yes, you will live forever. The question, though, and this is a big one, the question is where? It could be heaven, but the choice is up to you. You see, God does not take hostages to heaven. You will be living forever in one of two places. Either in a beautiful, marvelous, stupendous place called heaven, or in a dreadful, atrocious place called hell, separated from God for all eternity. I'm going to ask you, if you would, to visit our website, BibleTractsInc.org. You can order some of this gospel tract today. It has a beautiful front cover on it. The silhouette of a man looking off into the distance. It's very striking. And that title, Will You Live Forever? Maybe, just maybe, you should get some of this gospel tract, my Christian friend, and leave them around your workplace. Maybe someone will pick it up, and maybe God will change their lives the way he did that man I mentioned not long ago, accepting Christ as his personal Lord and Savior. If you have questions about that question, will you live forever? Maybe you're not quite sure. I'd love for you to text me. I'd love for you to get in contact with me. It would be me responding to you. It's not just some chat bot or something like that. I'd like for you to text me at 309, that's the area code, 309 316 7240. Again, that number is 309 316 7240.